Good morning. Beautiful day to you all. We're coming to you live from our SlyMedia studios in Harare, the capital of Zimbabwe, to wherever you are. Welcoming you and thanking you for tuning in to our show and thanking you for sharing, because I believe you guys are definitely going to share the show. We are here on the set, a show dedicated to showing celebrity lives and their inspirations, their journeys, and just giving us a word or two for the young people and those that are in the industry and looking to get into the industry as well. Today we are joined by Clive Mukundu, well known as Mono Mukundu, an artist, a producer. He's worked with a lot of artists, and I'm sure he will uncover all of that. But first, we'll take a break.
Big businesses do not advertise because they are big. They advertise because they want to reach potential new customers. Advertising helps you move your goods off the shelves. Brand visibility engraves your brand in the hearts and minds of your old and new customers. SlyMedia TV has a package for everyone, big or small. It's called Everyone Can Stream. Corporate events, weddings, churches or funerals, we stream it all. We take your product and event to over 326,000 followers on Facebook and 96,000 subscribers on YouTube. We cross-post to over 6 pages with a reach of over 1 million followers from as little as $100 per hour. We give you the desired global reach. Call today for a free quotation. 263-772-863-484 or 263-775-964-849 or 263-773-761-800 or email on slymediastreaming@gmail.com. SlyMedia TV, building bridges.
Welcome back. We are here on the set with Clive Mukundu. My name is Wadzanai. I am your host. Welcome, Mono Mukundu, the great.
Thank you for having me.
We are very grateful to have you here. I think for the benefit of those that do not know you, maybe you can just introduce yourself, tell us who you are.
Okay, my name is Clive Mukundu, better known as Mono, as you mentioned. I'm a guitarist and a music producer, but I'm better known as a music producer. So I've worked with a number of artists, in fact with a lot of artists. Yes. Both as a music producer and as a band member. So basically I think that's all.
All right. And where do you come from?
Okay, Kumusha Chakwa is from Rusape, okay, but I grew up here in Harare. So umfakwa sendokumsha kwangu.
Yeah, I get that. Ndokumakakurira.
Ndokatakuti azongokurira around mfakwa sekambuzuma kwadzana tangotendera mu Harare muno, but originally kumshande kwa Rusape, but akurira muno mu Harare.
All right. And how did you then get into the music industry?
Usually, for people of my generation, it starts with playing those homemade tin guitars.
Yeah.
And then those I played, I think from around the age 9, 10, I used to make my own homemade tin guitar. And then when I was age 17, on the 22nd of January 1988, that's when I was taught my first lessons on a proper standard guitar. That was 1988 by a gentleman called the Last Side, but he's late now. Okay. So that same year I formed my first band. So that was 1988. 89 we tried auditions and we failed a lot of auditions, more than 10 auditions. It was good for you to record, you had to go for more auditions. Okay. More is the live matter, so is Antichrist, so is Madara, is Antichrist. Then Mukataza Mama Zingo Sakatazingo more than 10 times.
Yeah.
So the band disbanded. Then end of 89, I joined another group, Ryan's Chuck's Brothers. That included Admaya Kasenga, Onamdara Jackson Piri. And then we failed a number of auditions again, and then we disbanded. And then I joined Chikoko, another group called Chikoko, Kambogara Wamtare. Then 1994, I started going to church. Then I joined the AGA Gospel Train. That's when I started working with gospel musicians. Okay. And then I worked full-time for churches from 1994 to year 2000. I think I worked for 4 different churches as a full-time musician. And then 2003, I joined Oliver Mtukodzi. Then 2007 we were fired, but I had bought my own studio equipment.
Yes.
So from 2007 up to now, I've been running my own studio.
All right.
So basically, that's the summary.
Yeah, and I think from what you said, I gathered that you had a lot of groups that you joined.
Right now I'm featured on more than 1,000 albums.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've worked a lot. My fingerprint is all over.
All over, yeah.
Zimbabwe music industry.
Why do you think? Okay, because most artists that grew up during that time and were in the music industry had a lot of groups that they dedicated their time to, that they worked with. Why is it that they didn't just stick to that one group? What do you think was the reason for being in one group then moving to the next?
When it comes to the first group that I worked with, my group, I think we disbanded because we failed to record.
Okay.
That's the same thing with the second group. And the third group we fought after the release of the first album. Was on the third group, the name of the group was Crocodile Rockers Gang. It was a dedication to the Crocodile Gang, the first Chimurenga freedom fighters of the second Chimurenga. They were called the Crocodile Gang. So we called ourselves the Crocodile Rockers Gang. So, but when the album was about to be released, the band leader changed the name to Chikokoko, his surname. So, originally, I never wanted to be Mshandi Umomon. I wanted to be part of the leadership of a band. So, I was disgruntled, so I left. That's how I split from the third band. But the rest of the bands, usually in Zimbabwe, and when it comes to money, it's not about the amount, it's about the fairness.
Okay.
Because, for example, if you are paid $1,000 and then the band leader takes $950, and then everybody is supposed to share the remaining $50, it creates a problem. Yeah. So that's why you see it in Zimbabwe, most bands, they don't last 6 months with the same lineup. They're always changing. It's because of money. Because the situation is like a rich man and Lazarus. The band leader is the rich man, and the band members are the ones who are eating the crumbs that are falling from the band leader's table. So it's not fair. That's why you see my band leader, but my band members are chitazakanotenga baskoro.
And what do you think needs to be done in that case? Because my portions are, it's like, it's a trend, really. We hear that, we see that a lot within the industry, where you've got the band leader, GD6, and then or something like that. What do you think can be done?
That one is a national problem. Because it's not just music. Because if you ask people who are going to work right now, most of them are staying because most people are just getting peanuts. And every workspace, vanemashoka avanotaura ekutrai kukavhiridza zvitema zvavo. Kana kuri kumachechi unonzi kuri kuitira Mwari, ukabvunza Mwari ubva unzi anoti haudi Mwari. Kana kuri zvehurumende unobva unzi hausi patriotic. Kana zviri zvekumabasa unobva unzi hauna commitment. So it's a national problem. It's not just music. So usually one problem that you see on one institution, it's a reflection of the whole country. That one is a national problem. So even we cannot even ask the churches to pray for it because you foot our badara shendo foot. Because we find out my churches mkuru church ndiaranga chidya achira malive ribo mafundisi vakapfeka kuti mabhachi kwakukonyara so tisingakwanisi kuendeswa dry cleaner because ana mari dry cleaning on. So it's a national problem. So far I don't know how it can be solved.
Yeah, that is quite enlightening. That is another view that I hadn't even thought about.
And that's the correct version.
Yeah,
it's a monosophical version.
Okay. So why did we get fired? You mentioned getting fired.
I always get that question. I think this year alone, Tumnami 99. But anyway, what happened is Pampa new management. So so the new management wanted new Washandi, and his members were never explained to because I'm not the one. That's what 37. So saying me, the manager, Debbie Metcalf, she was the best manager ever in Zimbabwe, but I got Zimbabwe and everybody else. So that's what 37. So we asked for an explanation, and we were promised an explanation that never came. So I know it's fine. But with me, what I did is I didn't want to bend bridges. So I maintained my relationship na Tuku. He used to call me Mfundisi. Then I have so I ended up working with him part-time.
And this is rampant though, because getting kuti munu wekuti anopinda within a certain setup and then want to clear everything for a fresh start. Would you say in the music industry that is something that happens a lot of the time?
Because in Zimbabwe, if you hear band runs Mukundu and the Monolio Stars, what it means is Monolio Stars is my surname. Don't know zinga band race mangwana pane a new group nenge chingonzi Monolio Stars.
Yeah.
Mangwana zinga futhi band race notora band rekuzishawana nenge chingonzi Monolio Stars. So Monolio Stars it's me. So ukanzwa band richinzolva mtukuzi and the Black Spirits and all of them mtukuzi.
All right.
But of all the groups I worked for, but all of them because they were the best. That's why I managed to buy a studio. So, and so don't go to the bedside. But when it comes to marry, I'm married to Bobo.
Yeah. And which other artists did you work with?
But when I come to Ghana for some time, all of them then I think they want to shine the longest of all the groups that I worked for. Then, and it was only 4 years.
Okay.
Then Choniso I toured now for 2 years. Then a gospel train, I think it was just 1 year. Then my group sang my 1 year, my 9 months, 6 months. So I think the longest group I got now is all of them towards. I'm going to go to my Dango beeper. Was the time when I was not married? Yeah. When I was changing the ambush, like I mentioned, in the Dukwang waste.
That's why
that's part of my faith. The just shall live by faith. So I got to know is an Zara Visiro. That cow is an Zara. That was a research of Vessin. Did when you marry? Touch not the anointed.
Yes.
Was you not complain once you are touching the anointed. So I found it. Kunogone game the which kids Zirana, so we change. So I'm going to, you know what? It's better the Namatamari. The outside ndatanga ndisingaridzi ndinguti handongonamata mandakagara ndozoshanda kubasa so mangoti azi auchadi kuridzira mwari no mwari ane enough music kudenga mwari ane enough music kudenga because kune ngirozi dzinoridza saka zvipo zvedu ndezvokuridzirana isusu teda panapo mwari ana nzara yemusic kuti tingabva tati munhu wese imba gospel oimba kuti jesu aiwa ukatoimba kuti vanogara zvakanaka uri kuto igospel iyo because mwari atori bo ane music yakawanda
mwari atori bo
yeah,
that's really it's actually quite funny because most times people usually just want to suppress and gain from what you have, gain from your talent.
What happens is it's like what was the panic time and Rambushana nema middlemen I tumane government kuita ma jingu nema chichichi. So now the system is the same. You could even is a fear pastora boss and then they benefit from the fear. Kuti anti marada mari yako chichi hunza mari yako sa iwe brain mako unofunga kuti ukupa munhu yakagara kwa unoona munhu yakufamba nawazibenzi akutanga kutuka futi uranzi muri kutambura bhozi hamuna mate tase kuti ndiri kufamba nebenzi pandimi makamupa mari yake then ukada kubvunza kutonzi wakandipa mari saka pamwe wakabvisa ka $50 woti ndokona kuzivisa ka 50 kako but zvinoitika manje $50 yayo ukaibatanidza nedzimwe dzabviswa navanhu it makes sense. But ukazopatsanura apa manje aicha sense.
Exactly.
So ndamboshanda nema middlemen aitumwa negovernment so the other time takaitwa project takubvunza mari vanzi guys mabvunza muri kuita mari minister vari kuti you're not patriotic muri kuningirina muri kunetsa chichichi pandafonera minister waya akatoshamisa kuti aizvi kamusati mabhadharo so means uye aisa fear pazita raminister iye then yobva adya from ndozvinongoitika futi mumachurches kuti vanhu vanoisa fear pazita ramwari mwari wacho cho achiita kunge chiguru noziva zviguru zvekumufa kwose zvinongorowa munhu wese even usina mhosva munhu wese unongorowa pasina zvawaita so uringomurodi saka ndo picture yavanoisa pana mwari zoti mwari wacho ceases to be a father chino zvaita kunge chimwe chiruma so that's not my picture yamwari I see mwari as a father and ndiwe munhu wese haasi wemafundisi chete haasi wemaelders chete haasi wevanhu vanoenda kuchechi chete tese even you find out actually believe to God is outside religion because mwari wemureligion is not there, because religion has created God in its image. So the image, ukatasa, wanaenda mapostori wane mwari wavo, mapentecost wane wavo mwari, masabata wane wavo mwari, and they are three mwari manje. Mwari are outside religion. That's what I believe.
I've had a talk concerning that religion and spirituality. People have apparently people have this thing where they are more religious, but without the spirit of connecting to God. And with your view, with what I've gathered from what I've been talking to you, is that it's outside of the music industry. This is not just like the issues that you're speaking about. It's not just within the music industry. So do you think that young people that want to get into the industry are able to actually distinguish that, no, or it's also becoming a challenge? Because you've had years in the industry. You can know when to distinguish that I'm being exploited. But do you think it's easy, or do young people need guidance there?
Yeah, there is serious need for guidance, because you can still survive in the music industry. Because I've been surviving in the music industry for 34 years. I've never worked anyway. But I've noticed that panda guidance because music industry you don't have to be too nice. In fact, the word nice originally it means stupid. You don't have to be nice. You need to be a good person, not nice. Because nice unongwa pusa manje. So panda kungwara even pakubvunza mari yako, there's nothing wrong nekubvunza mari yako. And inofana kuzoti kana ndiri kuita zveexposure ndiri kugumira papi, because zvine threshold. Ukaramba ingoti exposure unobuda bvudzi rinochena uchingoridzira exposure. So pada kungwara even pakubvunza mari, pakurana the business side. Because I always tell my youngsters that talent is not enough in the music industry, because it's called music business. So you can go concentrate on the talent, working on the business side. You know, I'm sure we know a number of people who want to repose, but they are not a poor and famous. But so I always tell youngsters that you can still survive with the music in the music industry. Of course, it's a fact with the music industry in Zimbabwe. It's a low income industry. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Saka pada kuti munhu ungongwarira kuti tushoma twakabatwa toita financial wisdom ugona to manage tumari tikototo, and then pakushanda nevanhu woito assertive, because I know the culture yedu inoemphasize too much on humility. So humility futi ine threshold, ukangodzika pfura imwe late for watopusa vanhu vanoita mari newe wangopusa. So that's what I always tell youngsters, kuti the music industry, you can survive, but in the financial wisdom, you need to be assertive on the business side.
You spoke about managing your finances. A person needs to manage their finances. And it brings into question, we've got many issues that have been raised concerning artists and managers. When it comes to finances, when it comes to what has been your experience?
I've noticed with my groups that I've worked with, my good managers, the experience was very good, especially with Oliver Mutukuzi. My manager, Debbie Metcalf, she was excellent. I told her in January, I told her program is up to July, which was what 4 April. Tendru ku Germany moto inonzi Hilton room number chakuti zotu ukatosiya program kumba pakaita any problem kaza anongoti azoti okay nasi didn't then okay nasi ndi 13 May okay means to work France motor room autophone itosvika ikoko. It was well organized, Maria, we are right on time, everything was well organized. So when it comes to management, I think my musicians, they really need my managers, because the managers, they take care of the business side. You concentrate on the artistic side. And then one of us have information on how to run your career, my band members, I talked to a number of my managers, but even why to advise my artists on who to pick with my band members. Band is an ingum, I think band Ronaldo Simba, even Pakufeka passage Mukafeka like this, was the young crowd. And they could end up come and not as we make sense. But if somebody comes and says, Dindru manager Wadzanai, she's a very good artist, there's no, it's some weight, and there's no so order. But Pandamuna Nazi. The management. So having a manager is a very crucial thing in the music industry.
And how can one pick a manager? Because it's not all of them that are that organized and also good at, how do you distinguish, Kuti, this one, this is the one?
Epa panotinise bhozi ukatarisa worldwide hakuna nzvimbo inonzi uku ndokunowanikwa mamanagers kana pabuilding yakati ukaenda pabuilding yakati kana organization yakati it's always anybody wanozivana naye who cares about you, who also understands the music industry, and you can read about it, you can learn about it kuti zvinofambiswa sei. Bhozi ukatarisa worldwide maartists mazhinji vamwe vanomanagwa nevarume wavo, like Janet Manyo anomanagwa nemurume wacho, Beyonce aimanagwa nababa wacho, Michael Jackson aimanagwa nababa wake. Saka zvinongodependa kuwana somebody who cares about you and who understands the music industry and who is honest and ane aggressiveness inodiwo pa business zvinotofamba, but kuti umuzive manje asati atanga kushanda is difficult. Saka mune matongoongorora nepapa muchitongoningina chazvakanakira ndechekuti manager kumusic industry ndiye mushandi zvasiyana nekubasa kwekuti manager ndiye boss. Saka kumusic industry manager anogona kudzingwa basa akatadza basa, so ndopa zvakanakira zvazvo.
Right. And have you had an experience where you've had a manager where you are just there like dai anga asipo munhu uyu?
Yeah, pane mamabhendi ekuti unongona kuti munhu yarototi wesitira nguo enda pano kwazviri kuenda mazita azoita zvakutaura ndingada totodema kuti Simon ningi but mazita azoita kutaura but variko vakadaro.
And how did you get past that?
Kumudzinga basa anenge kutongodzingwa basa kutaura mandaida kuti kumagitare manager mushandi asiri yeboss.
Okay, all right. Yeah. It's always an interesting dynamic when it comes to managers, producers, artists. It's just, and given that you are both, you're an artist, producer mainly, but you're an artist, but you know the difficulties that come with dealing with an artist and dealing with a producer as well. So how would you advise upcoming artists on that relationship and that duo?
Well, between artists and producers. First of all, you need to look for a producer who understands the type of music that you want to do. So that also blame dentist kuti atadza kugadzira ziso rako zvakanaka. Ona, because you need to kuona kuti zvaanogona ndezvipi. Ona, kwete kuti unoenda kuna producer wedance uchidoita mbira hazvibudi. Ona, so ukaona producer anogona zvauri kuda and then ari professional futi. Because kune ma-stories akawanda professionalism kunzi vamwe munozvisvika ena 9 mozotanga na1 masikati ende munhu anenge asitori apologetic, vamwe munzwa kuti music yarasika mucomputer chichichi. Saka kune ma-stories akawanda, so I think the best thing tarisa track record yemunhu then uona kuti zvaanogona futi ndezvipi, unazoita research yako so that unosvika pamunhu uchinazozoti zvaanogona ndeizvi zvaasingagone ndeizvi and professionalism yake yakamira sei. I think that way munhu ukwanisa kushanda zvakanaka.
Okay. And when it comes to registering as an artist, as a musician, do you recommend it? Because a lot of people are complaining when it comes to going to register kuti mari yacho iri kuzouya it's minimal, but do you think it's to the benefit of the artist?
Yeah, varitaura nyaya yekuregister kuma-collecting societies of which muZimbabwe muno mutine inonzi Zimuraya, and it's a very important thing kuregister ikoko because zvavanoita manje they manage copyright yako kana kuti simba rako reownership yemusic yako. Music yako ikashandiswa paadvert, instead kuti vemaadverts vateere maartist ese 1 by 1 vanongoenda panzvimbo 1 ndiko vanoenda kuzimura kwacho ikoko mari yako uzonge collecta ka1 kurira kwainoita paradio kuridzwa kwanoitwa mundege kumashops kumachichichi kwese kwekwe vanhu vanonga itonobhadhira mari kuzimura saka uzongonotora ka1. Saka ukasanoregister manje there's no way ungaende pa-airport kuti Air Zimbabwe ndanza kumuridza music yangu mundege mendi kuda mari yangu, because zvese zvamazano zvinoshanda collectively kuti kana muri mamusicians mune mine body yenyu iri kumanager izvi imwe iri kumanager izvi, saka vanongoendesa mari kunzvimbo 1 kuti tashandisa music yemuZimbabwe yakati vongoendesa mari uku, saka ukasaregister mari yako inongodyiwa nevamwe. Saka vanhu vazhinji havazvizivi ende pane tone serious ignorance when it comes to nyaya dzecopyright issues, because find kuti even ma-producers vazhinji havatomboziva kuti ukagadzira instrumental uri wega kana kuti rhythm kana kuti beat munhu akazouya akasikoimba pamusoro you automatically you own the song 50%. Vanhu vazhinji havaziva, vanongofunga kuti munhu akabata mic ndiye muridzi wesong yese, but iwe kana wagadzira instrument uri wega pasina munhu iwe uzosikoimba pamusoro you are part of the composers because ndo vacomposer the music. Saka vanhu vazhinji vari kutodyirwa mari ende vari kutotadza kuwana dzimwe mari because of kusaziva. But panonetsa mai ndepekuti pakanzi kune ma-workshops they don't come. Because I've attended countless workshops dzakarongwa copyright, the intellectual property laws, chichi. Musika kune 1, 2, 3. Ona avauye amene okamuka pride katina kuma machines ngongofunga kuti kana wakurira sterek pa radio kuti ugariswe pasi wakabata ka pen paper so munhu anobva unonga ari kuninga but ndopa kuvharwa kuri kuita vanhu because pane mama artist ndaitotaura na6 manats aitaura kuti akambosainiswa mucontract iye naOliver Mutukudzi yanga yakanzi contract painopera inongozvibereka yega zvekuti you don't even need to sign in other words it's a life contract, wana saka wazoda ubuda manje wawana zvimwe zviri nani havachakwanisa kubuda apo vari kudzvanywa pamari havasi kufara nemari pamba pacho vachinzi unofanira kurekoda 2 maalbums per year and recording more than 1 album per year unongosina enough time to prepare so music yacho haibude ine good quality saka vakasungirirwa nyaya kuti vanga vasingazive kuti macontracts anoshanda sei samai wamazano vane like rekuti tane ma-intellectual property lawyers vakatoti wande muno muzimbabwe saiva vanogara vachida kuita ma-workshops so but hapana noya but wozona newspaper nepafacebook munhu akutobuda palive ndakabirwa mari yangu chichi achipopota ende iye atori kuside and unoziva kuti vamwe vazhinji vanonga vakuda kuita mbiri yekunzi ndimafira kureva but kuita mafira kureva hakuna kushanda but unofanira kuita mafira kureva aine chekureva chacho ona because pano kuita mafira kureva usina zvauri kutaura uchingoita noise ende mazuva ano kungopopota kuri mufashoni kutanga Facebook live so uchipopota so within seconds pane pazara so saka I think ma-artists they need to attend ma-intellectual property workshops vodzidza kuti copyright inofamba sei so that havabirwe and back to your question it's very important for every artist kuregister kuma-collecting societies in fact muno mutinongo ne1 zimura yacho it's very important to register nezimura
You spoke about collectiveness kuti the industry is collective but is it the same with artists? Are artists really united within the industry or it's just azvonera it's up to you what you do?
Right now we used to have a musician union and it was deregistered year 2000 saka mai manje pakatangwa imwe a few years ago nana Edith Utonga nevamwe ende maartists ari kuramba kujoina asi kuziva kuti chikonzero chacho ndichei hansana anozoziva zvangu because ndakatoendeswawo ningirini yangu chingoti since parungwa chinhu ngatingobatirane pamwe chete but the majority emaartists vari kuramba kujoina so as a result we don't have a voice yekuti titaure zvichemo zvedu because we can't keep on speaking as isolated voices one we are popota roko you need a collective voice saka answering your questions hatina kubatana saka papa panotone buri hombe papa pane mukaha wakakura
so it's more of like an individual thing
where
it's like ndikaenda uku vanozofunga
it doesn't work much.
As artists is it a usual thing? I think it is. That's my assumption. But then asking you, is it a usual thing for pride to be the main thing when it comes to your artwork?
Tsingadunyeberana kachowari chakanaka unoziva kuti zita rako rangotaurwa pese pese so unoziva kuti vachingokuscreamira so wega unongonzwa pane kutamba noita nyama dzepagotsi apo so unongonzwa kuti I think ndabo saka nyaya yepride iyo it has nothing to do with demons or anything zvingori natural kuti munhu wese ukangobhigwa tumabhebhi twakuuya chichichiya unongonzwa kuzononge ndiwato president munyika imomo so I think as artists we need to control that because I think that's one reason why zvichiwanza kuti zvinonetsa kuti munhu aite breakthrough I think way yamwari yekuti yombonatsokudzikamisa because ukadatarisa vanhu vakanatsoita success iri slow vanhu vakaita sana Leonard Jakata vana Oliver Mutukudzi vana chichi they are very humble or they were very humble but munhu wekuti mazana azvichaneseka unongotora kalaptop kako kuti gaga wakutoputika paredhiyo wakutoita mbiri paningirini saka mbiri inozongirikana yangu kuti ka1 bar ipa pane dambudziko manje but mbiri kanatsoya mbichana nemasteps amwari munhu anodzikama ende variko vakawanda vakadzikama but vakafutwa nayo vakarohwa neshoko nayo ndo vakawanda mai especially mazuva anaya because mazuva ano zvaya very easy kuita mbiri especially ukaita zvinhu zvisina basa unobva kutoita popular more so ndosatine vavanhu vane dzungu mazuva ano.
All right, we are joined by Mono Mukundu, artist and producer amongst many other titles, and he's sharing with us his insights on the music industry and what he thinks are things that we need to work on as a country and as an industry as well. We'll be right back. Rising from the ashes, our Zimbabwean celebrities have paved different paths to be the people that we look up to today. Role models, opinion shapers, and motivational figures. All of them have a story to tell. SlyMedia TV presents On the Set, a show dedicated to showing you where celebrities came from and where they aspire to be. No matter where you are, local or international, we are willing to share your story on when you rose to fame. So contact us on 0772 863 484 or 0715 015 575 and make sure your story is well known worldwide.
SlyMedia TV, building bridge. Big businesses do not advertise because they are big. They advertise because they want to reach potential new customers. Advertising helps you move your goods off the shelves. Brand visibility engraves your brand in the hearts and minds of your old and new customers. SlyMedia TV has a package for everyone, big or small. It's called Everyone Can Stream. Corporate events, weddings, churches or funerals, we stream it all. We take your product and event to over 326,000 followers on Facebook and 96,000 subscribers on YouTube. We cross-post to over 6 pages with a reach of over 1 million followers from as little as $100 per hour. We give you the desired global reach. Call today for a free quotation. 263-772-863-484 or 263-775-964-849 or 263-773-761-800 or email on slymediastreaming@gmail.com. SlyMedia TV, building bridges.
Welcome back. We are here on The Set, a show that is bringing you celebrities sharing their stories, insights, and advice to the younger generations and even people that are still in their industries on what they should do, where they should go, and how they could help themselves become better artists. We're joined by Mono Mukundu, who's sharing with us on his insights on the music industry and the nation as a whole. My name is Wadzanai, and I urge you to keep sharing this page, keep liking and reposting. My likes my likes. So right now we're going to go to our Facebook page and read some of your comments. There's a comment here, Bakuna Paul White Kistanama. Arkuti, great guy, once worked with him in Chitungwiza in what was then a Lighthouse Christian Church. When Hemen Chimsoro was the lead pastor, then it could be things have changed by then, still looking great and young.
Okay. Thank you.
Maki Dicha. Anzi kuiswafia ne churches any government. God is outside of religion. That's a fact, Baba. Anzima vanhu vari kuvarwa nebhaibheri. And we've got Nyanduri Mukondo, who is saying, please tell him kuti ndinomufarira chibaba icho.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, I think right now we can see that people have had that.
Yeah.
Yes, they're tuning in and they enjoy whatever you do, the works that you do, it comes recognized. Then it goes back to Nyaye Pride again. Kuti, usually, how do you then put that pride aside as an artist? How do you then stay focused?
I think it depends on grooming. Because this particular magitare, of course, we had no guidance. But I was people like when I was a child. I took a stage. Saka wakati pa a lot of guidance. But now even people like one album to benefits, humility and so forth. Saka kura chingotedzo I think ukafamba kadayo zvinoita mushi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And having worked with some of the great names within our own nation. Was there ever a time where, probably when you were still starting, when you experienced that, what do they call it, being starstruck, where you worked with someone who you're like, you know?
Yeah, the only time I think in my music career, the only person who got a starstruck now in the album Mukundu. But not just pride car positive. But it's one person who under quarantine over and but of course Nango far out I've met them and we have traveled around the world. Of course, Takasaka the mama artist Akawanda what I perform now my big stages, but wekunza andinyanyo vunduswe now seri because wangu vandaida ndive muno mawa maybe daenda kasanga na Bob Marley maybe
yeah I understand.
Besides all of them Thomas Mapfumo one muno vandaida seri is Bob Marley,
yeah,
so mwesa akutongo sanga tongo morisano ndizo.
And which other international artists did you work with?
For my international artists, I think one is Luciano. He came to Zimbabwe 2015, and I recorded this collaboration with Japres. I'm the one who produced the song. And there's another guy, I know the Bongo Riot from South Africa.
Okay.
We worked last year during COVID time. Yeah, the album. I produced this album, but I shined online. We never met physically.
Yes.
But I go to Mirana files. I produced this album. I to win a summer award in South Africa. Then I'm going to raise my guitars in studio and never got to meet the people because I remember I did my guitars for an album, a Mango group, but I never got to meet the people. I was just called by the producer of South Africa and then I just added my guitars. So some of the people I never met them in person. And then right now there's a Nigerian artist, he's a reggae artist, I know it's Jacob. He's based in Denmark. Also, that one I'm just mixing his album. I'm not producing it, I'm just mixing the album. So here and there I'm just working with different artists.
And how did it feel hearing your music on the radio for the first time?
My first day, driver, but as time goes on, it sounds like Ram. But my first days, you want everybody that was in the guitar.
And Kumuri, did that ever become a thing where it's like, takunzwa ipa radio?
Kumuri, my first days, it was a struggle because my father never wanted me to be a musician. Oof. So we had a huge fight with my father, a serious fight. Because he would beat me up every time I don't know the guitar. But it was a huge struggle because if anything happens with Sunday nights, so even Vamos domesere papa saka ndara ijamga iti muskano babo muskano futa ita udari munhu magitare rombe ndanchine malocks angu so ndafara famba netsoka unge mutabaruka so saka baba wacho wangu udzwa nzi ndiye boyfriend yemwana wenyu akati iye bozi vaibva kumadheudheuka sa wangu visita kwadzana for a short time so
for a short time
kuti ndakato wavhisa imba yanga iri opposite pedu so saka wangogara a few days saka pane musikana wandaiwira naye ainzi Florence papa ainzi Florence Piri ndangoti Florence unotaura kanika bhebha na Florence mano tasvanozva uri ukati unozati mwana wani here baba wacho ndiye mukuru wemasiyaiwo muno muZimbabwe ndati iwe ndati ndoda mukana wekutaura naye cheki iwe hausoro unopfimba ndindi kutaura naye bva ndatotaura nebhebhi vanhu vakatoshamisa kuti rasta atowina bhebhi zvoti dzimwe hama dzangu chaidzo vakatomuzwira tsitsa vatomuti mwana wangu dai watsvaga mukomana ari nani hama dzangu chaidzo kuti uyu mwana wedu ndiwe magitara havarora but still iye akaita nharo manje sa kuna baba wacho akatomborohwa zvekutosvika pakutobuda ropa chaiko achinzi siyana nekamukomana vanongoziva kuti vanhu vemageto katindi nemalyrics plus ndiri musician mamusician tiri mapoet vanhu sa unongosina mari unokavhira kushaya mari nemalyrics manje saka bhebi ndakabhilivhisa nemalyrics abva kanakirwa saka ubereki kudorova kudoita sei baaendeswa kuChristian Bank still aingokumbira mari kwashanda achidzoka usiku ndonasvika atozidzingwa pamba Saka adzinga pamba wani paka ya mudhara akati right ndakuwana mai ndamboudza kuti zvinhu zvako izvi zvemagitari izvi. Saka mudhara akambondikaurisa zvake ipapo. Ambondikaurisa akambowina zvake ipapo.
Akambowina.
Saka ndatiri kupindura nyaya yeparental support. Parental support pamba sina. Because mudhara anga asingatodi. Because mudhara wangu aida ndiite a school teacher. Saka ndandisina kuramba manje. Because ndanoita ka research kangu vanoona kuti zveshuwa magitari muno mari dzacho dzinonetsa muZimbabwe. Saka ndanoona kuti no mudhara kuchikoro ndinoenda. Because vaida ndienda kuteachers college. Ndandoenda kuteachers college but on my spare time ndinchiridza magitari zvanzi no. Sarudza chinhu one. Ndati no, handisoda chinhu one ndokuda both. Ingwa O level ndaitwa ndichiridza magitari. Because ndakajoina band rekutanga ndiri form 3. Ndapesa kuti ndanditori muband ipapa but ndakangopasa one still zvanzi no. It's either magitari kana ndichikoro. Ndati kana yakadaro ndangoita zvomagitari. Saka ndatopinda magitari ndichitoziva zvokuti mari hakuna chichichi. Saka zvangu zvekuti yanga iri fight. Saka mudhara akazotiwanikidzawo pandakamitisa baby. In fact, kumitisa kwacho yanga isiri mistake zvayo bozi. Ndanotongona ndo the only way yekuti auye bozi ndanoona kuti nekuburana kwandandaita namudhara baby radzingwa kumba kwaro. Saka ndakamuti maizivo zvadzingwa kachiuya kugara kudheni. Parimai kuti auye asina nhumbu manje.
Zvinonzi ngaadzokere.
Saka patino ngatiite nhumbu tonyeba kuti mistake. Saka nhumbu yacho yanga iri planned zvayo.
Yeah, it was a planned mistake.
It was a planned mistake. Saka but mudhara ndopakazondowanikidza. Because ndaifunga kuti achabva aswa accepta but akabva kuti maizi ndatobve nenhumbu yake mba ndati hapana kwauri kuenda kunzi aiki noti hapana kwauri kuenda kuchirara mukisheni mamai because ndandichirara mukisheni mamai manje ipapo. Saka but ndangoomesa musoro up to now mukazi wangu anotoziva kuti uyu munhu akafighta because andakafighta.
Agarwa, akamira. And your mom, like we hear kuti your dad, yes.
Amai manje vangu vakanyarara. Vangu vakaseparate zvaona mudhara vakaseparate ndiri grade 6. But nongozoti muculture medu baba vanenge vangori nepower. Saka baba vakatoya, I remember it was 1994 pavakaskuita meeting so itaura kuti right. Mukadzi akaenda unodzoka mufamily but kana usingadi kuti mukadzi aende mese mobva panapo. Ndakati hapana kwauri kuenda. Kanzi alright sa mese mobva. Saka takapiwa ka grace period ke 2 weeks. Dzangu nokwana 2 weeks ndipo pakauya evangelisticus wekuZayaji. Saka vangu ndikutsvaka guitarist kuchechi tichibhadhara mari ndopunyuka kwandakaita pahonda. Saka mudhara paakazoya manje ada kusotidzinga kanzi havakuroja uku. Saka kuti uchisodzinga munhu pamba pake zvanzisaite manje. But anyway,
then that conflict between your parents, did it ever affect you in any way?
Yeah, pese panoitika divorce, panoitika panoaffectika. And I think by divorce manje the biggest victims are the children. Because baba you can move on and marry another woman. Amai anogona move on or nemweni go replace murume uya anogona replace mukadzi. But kana uri mwana you can't replace your father, you can't replace your mother. Saka always the biggest victim by divorce is the children. Saka I hope ndogara ndichitoudza vana vangu kuti kana muchitoroora kamngwarirai because make sure kuti vanatsotsvaga munhu wauri kuda chaichai just like what I did inini kuti ndanatsotsvaga munhu wandonazoziva kuti ndiye wandikuda chaichai so that you don't divorce. Because ukadivorce anoaffectwa more is the kids. So we were really affected. Because for some time I remember I was very angry with my father. And I remember even when I went to school ndakaburana nema-male teachers today. So I used to wonder, ndatozitanga kuzvibvunza ndandega manje afterwards ndakuverenga mabooks epsychology ndakuzvibvunza kuti but how come ndakugara ndakabura nema-male teachers ndasingambobura nema-female teachers. But ndazoona kuti no, the reason was I was angry with my father. Saka ndandikaona maticha echirume ndaiva ndaona kuti ndikuona baba vangu zito hadada kupesana. Saka ndozvakaita nditozofoira mezi because naMr Gunata takamakana seri ticha wangu wemezi because takagara takadzingana muclass tikadaurwa ndaiga ndiri kwaheadmaster almost weekly. So divorce it really affects vana. And imwe mistake inoita vamwe like zvakuitika mazuva ano zvokuti mukadzi akaramana neboyfriend kana nemurume vaine mwana anobva arambidza mwana kuti aite relationship nababa wake anotoaffectika mwana. Because ukaverenga kupsychology vanototi vana vanokura vasina nababa ndokwakazara mbavha, ndokwakazara magangsters, ndokwakazara pfambi. Panotone effect yazvinotoisa pamwana. That's why tinoti nyika dzakaita seAmerica, Jamaica, South Africa kune ma-high crime rates. inyaya yekuti vanhu vacho vanongomitisana zvezvo kuti vanongomitisana kana vamitisana ngosiya zvakadaro havana baba vachengete vana kana kuti vakada kuchengeta vana vana mai vacho vanoramba kuti handisona kuti mwana wangu aite relationship nababa wake vamwe vanotoramba kana kuti kuudza mwana kuti baba wake ndivati saka it really affects vana but vanhu havazvizive manje vanongofunga ndiri kufikisa baba but unonge tofikisa mwana then at the end wozvifikisa futi iwe bcause mwana kana wama musoro niwe futi unoona moto futi so I think zvinhu zvekuti vanhu vanofanira kugadzirisa ipapa.
And within Zimbabwe, I think it's safe to say my headlines have really been talking about how the divorce rates have been going up.
Yeah, because tukukopa madofo, tukukopa Hollywood.
Yes.
Because tukukopa Hollywood. Because I think can't kopa America, tingakopa technology, tokopa music and everything, but never copy Americans when it comes to marriage and relationships. Because those people are messed up when it comes to marriage and relationships. Never copy those people. Because even the way they run my relationships, even my third wife, my fourth ex-husband, on. So kana culture yao yakavhiringika kudaro when it comes to Ningrini, you can't copy those people when it comes to my marriage. Mutu shandisa as a benchmark to relationship run like this. Because ukataza even my concept mazhinji vanongounza vana feminism, inozikwane woke culture, kuti nemama theories mamwe anotopesana nescience chaiyo kunzi hanzi gender is a social construct, mwana mukomana munogona mupa zvidhori. It's a proven Ningrini failed Ningrini theory. It was proven. Pana mwana Dr. John Money is the one akauya nekuti hanzi gender is a social construct. He did an experiment pakafa vana too, but still because it sounds nice. Vanhu vanongoda kungozvitedzera. So inozvi ukadata sama Americans vanongounza a lot of my concepts anosound very nice uchateerera so, but they don't work. And even my causes which they fight for, the feminism, at times it ends up being a business. They commodify my causes. So once a cause is commodified, you end up manufacture my problems. Because like right now, I think my feminists should be celebrating because one of my rights is women can vote, can own property, can go to schools. Manages, they are busy now manufacturing my problems as simple. Right. So my point is, if we are to maintain our marriages, we need to stop copying my Americans. And my divorce rates are right now. My divorce is not the problem; it's a symptom.
Yeah, it's a symptom.
So it's symptom of a problem. You're going to copy the West when it comes to my marriages.
So what do you think should be done? Like, how do you think it's best for the community to come back? What should be done?
I think panoda counseling. Tomira mazvake. Bozuka tarisa kare my marriage is sandina na tete. Ukuthi vaitogara nemipaso tokupai counseling nema tips on how to run the marriage. Because kana muri married ndimwe vanhu vanogona kuburana the smallest things. Munogona kuburana nepekusvinira colgate chaipo kuti mwari kusvinira pakati mwada kusvinira kuage motoburana zviri serious one. So I think panonida macounselors and chimwe chinozokonzera mafights after divorce inyaya yekuti zvinenge zvapera between you but zvinopera within you. Vanhu vazhinji vari kurambana vachitodanana nyaya yekuti pangoitika maconflicts vashaya counseling and muri muchinopiwa matips maybe muri married muri unobvunza vanhu vasiri married kuti marriage inofambiswa sei kana kuti muri unobvunza muri unokopa zvakafanira kuti Zambia yokopa constitution yekuMalawi. Each marriage ine constitution yayo, Burana ine constitution yenyu. So I think people should go back to idea yema counseling anatete nana sekura yayo. Vakomana vachidzidziswa kunzi mukadzi anobatwa like this and vakadzi narume takasiyana. We are totally different. Musa nyeberwe nema movements akuya mazana ndari murume nemukadzi maangofanana hatina kutombofanana. We are totally different. And zvinodiwa nevakadzi nezvinodiwa nevarume zvakasiyana, whether kusex, whether kuchikafu, whether kuma-emotions, whether kupi. So zvese zvinoda kudzidziswa pacounseling manje. So ino chakunetsa nchekuti vanhu vakudzidziswa zvese nemafirimu, sex vakudzidziswa nepornography. Saka kuti uchizvisa proper life chaicha real day-to-day life, it doesn't fit.
Apply it,
It doesn't fit because it's fiction. I'm trying to more real life. So I think be very careful even of my red flags, because mazano ma baby nyama zano kwa wanda to my slay queen.
My red flags.
Because mo shit ask one my red flag, what kasi red no favorite color again. Ask one my red flag is
all right, and usually artists are related to being promiscuous. Promiscuity is zvinotonzi ukadanana na musician, ukadanana na producer wes. Manje, you are both. So can you tell us, have you ever had a situation like that? Yes. Are you promiscuous? Please, can we get into that one?
Yeah, what happens in the music industry, kuna knows my groupies.
Oh, yes.
You can search for the word Google, whatever. It's women who throw themselves at musicians. And I'm not talking of prostitutes. I'm talking of gainfully employed women. Wantokumbira kurara na musician. So, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to say no to sex kana uri murume. Doma sikira mwari. So,
is it?
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to say no to sex. Kana uri munhu wechirume. Saka everybody else anogona kuti musicians muri loose bozi haana munhu ari kumusona.
So you
can boss and say, I need ndakasimba handiite zvokurara bhozi hapana munhu ari kusona. Kana paine type yako iri nazo kusona, kana uchifarira madhafu paine chidhafu chiri kusona, kana uchifarira maslender paine kaslender kari kusona. It's not easy to say no. So ini yes ndambozviti tiri vafana tikatomborova nema-STI tichienda kuhospital chinorapwa, so chinzi uri kurwara nei uchitaura pasi unzi taurisa apa mune muri mukiu makazara vanhu, so vanhu vese vakutonzwa kuti uri kutaura kuti taurisa, handisi musikana wakutaurisa kuti ndine siki, unzi haunjari kuita siki, zero rako wombotukirwa. But anyway, as time went on ndakazongodzidza kuti ukaramba uchiita this type of life unofa, so I quit. So answering your question, yes ndambozviti.
Did that affect your relationships?
Not static. Kana kambiri kapo vanongaitonaikirwa. What happens with you women, you are attracted, vakadzi, they are attracted to power and to alpha males. Alpha males munhu anenge aine power, kana aine mari, kana aine whatever.
Providers, yeah.
So a woman at times can become comfortable unoita number 3 pane munhu ane power than unoita number 1 wazuzi. So even when I got married, ndatomboita kuti ma-small as hapa ndaona kuti it's difficult kuviga foni, kudairira foni mutoireti kuti sese vanaona amai zvinoti manongo famba zviri straight. But as you answering your question, usually hazviaffect straight because mwando yaitoziva ndiri number 3.
Ndisi kutaura kuaffectwa kweari willing. I'm talking about the one who doesn't know.
Or the one who doesn't
when
know.
They come to know kuti this is what's happening.
Vamwe vanenge vachitoziva because pano mumwe asinganyebeki. Pano mumwe asinganyebeki. Plus mumwe anenge achitoziva kuti patv panotogara panoburitsa kunzi mukadzi wanhingi ndeuyu. Iye ndo yachingosku atokumbira ndikukudo. Achitoziva kuti mukadzi okay, vakadzi anongovanzirwa. And what you don't know doesn't hate you. But anyway, I'm not justifying. Ndongotsanangura. Because zvakafanana kuti munhu ukabvunza mbavha kuti kandi munhu mupurisa kuti vanhu vanoba sei. Mupurisa akakutsanangura kuti vanoba vachida, it doesn't mean ari kusapota kuba. So I want to make it clear kuti handisi kusapota promiscuity. But ndongotsanangura kuti kumusic, the reason why kuchizoita a lot of promiscuity nyaya yekuti vakadzi vacho vanouya vega. Vemuno vanogona kuvanza zvavo, but kuna naAmerica vanotobuda pachena. Pana anonzi Cynthia Plaster-Caster nemwe anonzi vakatonyora mabooks vaitotaura kuti hanzi anomumanikidzwa, and I used to enjoy it because hanzi kurara namusician is the closest you can get to his creativity. Ndo angari mabeliefs ake. Saka aitobvunzwa paopera itotaura akatosununguka. Saka wedhe kuti group racho rakatotangira kuAmerica. Kuti they just throw themselves at you. Mungonodara muchiridzi anogona kukupasai nekuti phone ukangobvuma kuti matodarana matomurume nemukadzi. Ukatosangana kwatongonanga straight bedroom straight kavana hapana kana negirini. Kumbira selfie obva atodonhedzera phone number yake muhomwe mako. Kana kumhoresa ukuisa phone number maoko. especially in Zimbabwe havadi kuonekwa kunzi ndozvavari kuita. Pamwe anenge atooneka neboyfriend yotonzi nditori picture, boyfriend ndoyotora picture apa bhebhi rake rotoisa phone number momwe mamusician. So it happens a lot. So I'm not saying it's good, but I'm just shedding a light on what causes the promiscuity. Because like I mentioned, it's so difficult to say no to sex. Kantienda ku science, varume they've got more testosterone than women, 20 times more than women. And testosterone is the sex hormone. So varume, that's why varume they are more sexual active than wakazi. Not that wakazi are sexual active, but varume zvakati one day. That's why you know hakuna mukadzi anomanipulate when sex the way men are manipulated in sex. Vanokata varume vanogara vachimanipulate when sex. And varume are the ones who always pay for sex. Wakazi vomurodi kuchi. Sapana kamuka desperation kanoita varume so ndomasikira Mwari. Saka it's not society. And not one of Mazana don't blame it's socialization. Because this has nothing to do with society. This is nature. So my point is to try and shed a light on why which is promiscuity. It's not like my business to even want to tear.
And usually no one talks about that. Usually when you ask an artist, Kuti, is it true? They're like, no. The
difference between me and everybody else is the ones. You know, can't say anything. No, you don't know to Zanyara, you don't know. So when it comes to promiscuity, it's there. That's why, you know, based on the music, they're all dead. Because like I mentioned with the patakatanga ndakambofare so tikarumwa nema-STA pandakarumwa nema-STA ndipana kati zvinhu zvinourayisa izvi panati I will never do this again until I'm married. Saka vamwe vangu vambotira kuda kundiseka kuda kumbondembarasa kumboita sesese ndakati anoda kuseka ndaseke inini I'm out. Saka kana ari makuseni vanhu vanonga vachipoza wakaona chidhafu chaicho chaitamba ndindakaenda nacho ndakazoda ona kati ndikaekati ndindakaenda nako saka ndoza nyaya dzandaingonzwa makuseni ndana out of it. Saka takazoti fambe tagunana 1998, 99, 2000 tangona uyakosora ubvudzi rapemeka uya amabhonzi egega chiti ona vanhu vese game zoti ndatombofunga kuti I will never reach 40 because ndati saka namafesi angu vese vapera kufa ndaputswa sei apa saka ndapedza ndongofunga kuti andofunga my 10 is coming ngatoni aizvi ndatosvika noteswa una aizvi ndatosvika kana noteswa cheko because ndanambopfuura nako ndakatozona ndakatochena ndatosvika mu40 right now I'm 51.
Okay, wow.
So I thank God for that. I think ipapo ndatombofunga ndine munyama chiti wazviti vamwe vese havasi kurumwa nema-STA ndisingazoti yanga itori plan yaMwari yekuita sei. That's why I call myself God's favorite guitarist because I think Mwari akandifavor a lot because handitombozoti ndakapunyuka sei ipapo.
Thank you very much. We're getting the honest truth from Mukundu about
Monosophy. It's called Monosophy.
Monosophy. Yeah. You see, so we're getting more enlightenment because not many people do talk about the truth about what happens in the industry, what happens when you're on tours and everything. But I'm sure this is not the last that we've heard of him. We'll come back and he'll share more on his own views of the world and what he sees within the music industry. Rising from the ashes, our Zimbabwean celebrities have paved different paths to be the people that we look up to today. Role models, opinion shapers, and motivational figures. All of them have a story to tell. SlyMedia TV presents On the Set, a show dedicated to showing you where celebrities came from and where they aspire to be. No matter where you are, local or international, we are willing to share your story on when you rose to fame. So contact us on 0772 863 484 or 0715 015 575 and make sure your story is well known worldwide.
SlyMedia TV, building bridge.
Welcome back. Just rounding up in the last segment with Mukundu. Because I'm enjoying the honesty and the truth within everything you're saying. I think maybe just to come back to the last remark you made before we took a break, you spoke about being God's favorite guitarist, and you referred to the gospel a lot when we were talking. Like, tell us, enlighten us.
No, I'm not a pastor. I just started going to church in 94 and stopped to 2015. So
And stopped?
Yeah, I stopped going to church. So I'm not a pastor. I've never been a pastor, but I had a lot of my friends which pastor wanted me to go to Bible school, but I just thought that I'm just a musician. I'm not supposed to be pulpit kwangu ku music, not ku preaching. Yeah, but I just felt I preach better than guitar rather than maybe don't go put my speech for my album launch and do preaching young, but not with a pastor. So I'm not a pastor, and I also no longer go to church.
Why?
After those disappointments, I started to use critical thinking. I would question a lot of things in the genetic church. First of all, I want to write what I kind of just watch Chinese Simba. How come Mama Fundi design do Mom with the Bam Soro? Can I Simba da Sungure Gavarum Parizao? So those are some of the questions I started asking myself. But is it true? But how come this religion, the way I go to colonizers and the slaves, Pawakapiwa, this religion, they became better slaves. So this religion. So I started having a lot of questions. So my frustrations and the church, I started researching. So finally I just ended up thinking, you know what, I want to worship God, but outside religion. Like I said before, I believe God is outside religion. So no matter, but don't matter outside religion.
Okay, so would you say, Kuti, you are a Christian, or you just are a worshiper?
I just worship God.
You're not a Christian?
I'm not.
Ayo.
I'm not. I'm no longer one.
Okay.
I used to be.
And has that made life better for you?
I lost a number of friends. I lost a number of clients. Because I made it clear. Because if you saw speech and the Papa funeral 6 months,
yeah.
I made it clear that I no longer go to church. So because of that, I lost a number of clients, and even some churches don't record Namono. I'm Satanist, and I'm Satanist. I'm not a Satanist. My Satanist, they believe don't know. So I can be a Satanist and drive an ex-job. So yeah, it really affected me. But I just that's got to fake one. Because what I believe is, I believe it's disrespectful. Kuti unosvika pamasowe vanhu voti bvisai bhutsu yoramba wakapfeka bhutsu kana unopinda muchechi mana papa woti papa akupinda pfugamai yoramba wakamira ona because I don't believe I have to pfugamira another man kuitwa muroora nemwe murume ona. So because of that I think kuti it's more respectful kuti kana and if you can't do what the Romans do, don't go to Rome ona. So if I can't do zvinhu my church, my beliefs are, I think it's better so that I don't disrespect them. Because some of the beliefs in the beliefs religion is something which is man-made. And religion for the benefit of some people. Vachitora mari yese muchinzi mwari achakuropafadzai gore rese rinopera muchingofamba netsoka muchinzi gore rino kuchatenga mota. So I just thought that I think it's better for me to worship God outside religion. So from 2015 I never went to church again.
All right. And to sum up this deep conversation that we've had today, what would you like to say to our viewers?
To our viewers, I'd like to say, please keep supporting the music industry. To the musicians, I want to say, talent is not enough. To my radio stations, I want to say, promote local music, because when you play foreign music, you are empowering my foreigners. So radio is a matter of national interest. In America, they will never play Thomas Mapfumo, they will never play Oliver Mtukudzi on national radio. Not on national radio. So balance no shamisira radio stations and station idea they foreign music. Most power music musinga support. So my radio stations support local music. And we've got a lot of brilliant material in Zimbabwe. Once we don't have enough good material is a lie. I work in the studio every day. I'm seeing a lot of brilliant artists. And I was some music my radio stations I read on our busy with the Nigeria, the Kupi. Also, one order the Nigeria it's both those are Murko Wapa. One bozy Mugati Tuguriza Zudio and one Makuisa Chikoska Rumberko doing Bozi. One time as a Mawapa I mean. That's why in 1970, Muno Mango is got rock chat. That's why I my band rock one eye of liberty. When I teach was languages that are on radio. Some Katanga Kuapa local music, you one on Tanga Kufara local music more than any other type of music, more than Amapiano, more than Afro beats, more than dance or Jamaica. So we are in Zimbabwe. We need to hear music in Zimbabwe. So basically, that's my message to Zimbabwe.
Thank you very much. We were joined by Clive Mono Mukundu, and he was sharing a lot. I hope we can start a conversation because I know the conversation will not stop because we've had a lot of content to speak about. So please continue sharing our page, continue liking, reposting, and we hope to see you again next week. Bye.
Big businesses